conversation with a Liverpool fan recently, Jamie Carragher said this about Arne Slot. Maybe I'm saying this from a selfish point of view, because Slot's great with us, as in broadcasters. You can have an interview with him. I like him. Salah, now you know what you need to do to get Jamie off your back. Carragher recently lawyered up for Arne Slot at a fan debate and said that Liverpool fans were being very unfair towards him. Interestingly enough, Carragher had just interviewed Arne Slot yet again just a day before. Do you know what they say about sometimes being too close to the problem to be able to see it? So let's take a look at some of the things he says in favor of Arne Slot. He says he speaks tactically at press conferences. Yes, you're right. He complains about low blocks and long throw-ins and manages to skirt around questions which ask about why he doesn't play certain players. So yes, if you're talking about having a more astute spokesperson rather than a better manager, then we definitely have one. The other thing he mentions is how Klopp's brand of football can't always continue. And of course, as football fans, we know that. We know that every manager brings his own style of playing. But when you take a championship side and turn them into a very neat team that is scared of scoring against teams like Fulham and Leeds, and we start drawing against them, that is definitely a problem. Continuing on Klopp's theme, he said that last year, Slot took Klopp's team and almost got a bit of stardust with it. This was the one accurate thing that he said, because yes, last year Slot played Klopp's team in Klopp's system, and the stardust was definitely there in the form that Arsenal shot themselves in the foot again. Pep City was not like Pep City anymore, and basically there was not much competition at all. So yes, while we were really good at the start of the season, towards the end we petered out, and despite that we won because the season was just not as great or as competitive. Another thing Carragher loves to talk about is how players from last year are not performing the same way this year. Why? What has changed? See, Slot got new players, he tried to play them in his system, and that new system has failed to work. Case in point, let's look at the way Michael Carrick has come into Manchester United. I know, very early days, still too fresh, but worth looking into. He had been in charge of Manchester United for just 5 days before his first match, and that was against City. The same Michael Carrick whom Carragher wrote off as someone who was not good enough to win the Premier League. So United beat City 2-0. Now what has changed? The back three are replaced by back four. Bruno Fernandes has finally moved to play higher up, where he is far more lethal. Mbeumo is taken and played as striker, and boom, suddenly you have a lethal United attack that is playing in a very coherent manner, and they are playing to win. The same players who didn't look as convincing under Amorim suddenly had that sprinkling of stardust. And this fan debate took place on Jan 23rd, when Carragher said, and I quote again, "Of course this can't go on, and things have to improve in the second half of the season." I don't know what calendar you use, Jamie, but the EPL is in the second half. There's a question he says he asks himself every time a manager is appointed to a club. Is this manager capable of winning the Premier League? This is the same question we need to ask ourselves when we look at Liverpool, not on the basis of Klopp's team that was played last year, but on the basis of Slot's decisions this year.